What up, Hype Squad? It's your boy Lucrecio coming at you with another video. And if you're new, welcome to ExceedTheHype.com. And if you want to join the Hype Squad, go ahead and click subscribe, alright? This video is about Carmelo Anthony and the disrespect, the blatant disrespect that he has gotten by the media outlets such as Sports Illustrated and ESPN with their NBA rankings. So every year they kind of go through and they rank the top 100 or so players in the NBA according to their opinion. And this year, Carmelo Anthony with ESPN ranked 64 out of 100. They're saying 64 players in the NBA currently, the operative word is currently, are better than Carmelo Anthony. I think that's absolutely insane. It's not 64 players better than Carmelo Anthony. Come on. And Sports Illustrated had him ranked at 37. It's not 36 players better than Carmelo Anthony in the league. It's just complete disrespect. Carmelo Anthony is still one of the best pure scorers in the NBA. He can score in multiple ways. He can body you on a post. He got a crazy mid-range game. He can score in any way possible mid-range. He can score from three. He can attack off the dribble. He's a high IQ type basketball player. I think this is the issue, man. Real quick before I get to that, let's talk about the quote. Carmelo Anthony himself actually had a quote saying, "Can't make sense of the nonsense. As long as I know I'm nice, F it. I'm my own fan. ESPN, don't be so blatant with the disrespect." So just the fact that he had to even have a quote like that to kind of defend himself against, haters or whatever the case may be, it's just crazy, man. Carmelo Anthony is one of the best pure scorers in the league, and it's just because he's on a bad team that he gets such a bad rap. Now, Carmelo Anthony, he is not my favorite player by far. He has some stuff on the court that irritates me. I don't like how it's difficult to integrate him into an offense that's predicated around a lot of ball movement, because he kind of stops the ball when the ball gets to him. Even if you tell him, hey, keep moving the ball, it's going to work its way back around to you, he doesn't. Sometimes that's what D'Antoni was trying to do when D'Antoni was in New York. He was trying to create more ball movement or whatever, letting them know that, hey, it's going to come back to you towards the end of the shot clock. And he didn't like that. He wanted to kind of ISO a lot or whatever the case may be. Defensively, sometimes he loses his assignment or whatever. Sometimes it doesn't appear that he's trying very hard off ball on defense. So there's stuff about Carmelo Anthony that's not like perfect. Okay, I can understand why you don't put him in a top 10 or whatever. But come on, even with all those deficiencies or whatever with Carmelo Anthony, he's not 64. Let's look at some notable people who were ranked ahead of him in the ESPN ranking, right? Lonzo Ball was ranked 63, so one spot ahead of him was a player who has never seen the NBA court before, ever, right? We don't know if he's going to be a complete bust, which I doubt. I honestly think Lonzo Ball will be very good, but that's not the point. He has not proven anything in the NBA up to this point, but he apparently is better than Carmelo Anthony right out the wrapper, right? You have Harrison Barnes, who I really like Harrison Barnes a whole lot. All right. I like his game. I like the mid-range game. I like his attitude. I like the leadership. I like, Harrison Barnes a lot. But he's not better than Carmelo Anthony. Come on, man. He's not even close. Not even close to Carmelo Anthony at this point in his career. But Harrison Barnes is ranked. And then the surprising one, Robert Covington. Once again, I like Robert Covington, man. I think he was one of the sole bright spots with the Philadelphia 76ers last year, considering Joel Embiid kept getting hurt. Ben Simmons got hurt. They're just dealing with all these injuries the whole year. Robert Covington is their lone consistent spot that's always there because it's going to bring consistency every night. So I like Robert Covington a lot. But come on, he's not Carmelo Anthony. Come on, man. That stuff don't even make any sense. They're basically saying Carmelo is completely washed. Even though this whole summer, we've been seeing Carmelo Anthony ball out the whole summer, right? But apparently Robert Covington is much better. We've seen Carmelo Anthony ball out and has been the best player on the court in the little videos that we've been seeing all summer. But hey, Robert Covington's much better apparently, because he's like 9 slots higher than Carmelo in ESPN's list. Come on, ESPN. That's absolutely ridiculous. Then you have Sports Illustrated. I don't have the whole list in front of me, but they had Chris Middleton ranked in front of him. Once again, I like Chris Middleton. All these players that they rank ahead of him, I like. I like Chris Middleton a lot. I like the fact that he can play good defense. I like the fact that he can play make from the shooting guard position. I like the fact that he can shoot. You know, I like him as a player. He's awesome. But he's not Carmelo Anthony, man. So, with that in mind, I'm going to just say this. Carmelo Anthony is going to decide the championship this year. Whether it's with the Houston Rockets or with the Cleveland Cavaliers. If he's with the Houston Rockets, I believe they do have a very, 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 very good shot at knocking Golden State off. Number one, because they have a true system. They have D'Antoni, who is the originator of that style of basketball. They have a point guard who is better at playing the position than Steph Curry. He's not a better player than Steph Curry, but he's better than playing the position than Steph Curry. You have a shooting guard who's better than Klay Thompson. You don't necessarily have somebody to equal what Draymond brings, but once again, Draymond, depending on how you play him, isn't that much of a factor in any particular series. And then you have Carmelo Anthony, one of the few people who can approximate the production that Kevin Durant will give you. One of the few people in the NBA who can produce at that high of a level to kind of counter Kevin Durant, right? So, with that being the case, I think, and then with their system being at times this season more potent offensively than Golden State, if Carmelo Anthony was to go to Houston, I think Houston stands a very, very good chance at knocking Golden State off. Flip it. If he went to Cleveland, I think if Carmelo Anthony went to Cleveland as currently constituted, right, if Cleveland didn't lose a significant piece to get him, they win the championship. And Carmelo doesn't win MVP like he would have with Houston, a Finals MVP, but he'd be a huge factor to why Cleveland would be able to beat Golden State. Number one, because he's somebody who can switch. Like, that's the key with Golden State, is just switching, basically. When the Thunder had them on the ropes 2 years ago, why was it? It's because on defense they switched every single motion, every single activity, every single screen or whatever that happened off ball or whatever. I think that's the key. But Carmelo goes to Cleveland, he wins a chip, and he's, you know, a huge factor in the chip. He goes to the Rockets, and he could potentially get to the finals. I just think that's crazy, man. Somebody who can literally tilt the balance of power in the NBA, ranked 64 and 37 by two of the major media outlets for basketball. Absolutely insane. They're just disrespecting the guy. I really hope Carmelo Anthony comes out and balls out this season to shut people up, because sometimes I get tired of the media just ruining people's reputation just because they feel like it. I mean, you have like bums like Skip Bayless or whatever. Not that he's responsible for this, but you have people like that who just get on TV and trash a player, and over time it ruins their reputation in the minds of casual fans. And I just think that's unfair. I hate when the media just kind of ruins these players who have tremendous talent or whatever, and the media just kind of starts tilting people's minds to believe things that aren't necessarily true. Anyway, that's my little rant or whatever about Carmelo Anthony. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, man. Do you agree? You really think Carmelo Anthony has fallen off to that extent? I doubt it. I completely doubt it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this content, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to join the Hype Squad, hit subscribe, all right? We getting deeper, all right? See you next time.